How are you?
I'm doing well, and yourself?
Good, thank you. Welcome to this episode of In This Together, and I've moved to a new couch on my digital couch, so welcome to my couch.
My pleasure.
I'm sure people would have seen Janine across multiple platforms, and we've been friends for years now. We did the Perth LinkedIn Success Series together along with our friend Bruno. So Janine really doesn't need much of an introduction. Otherwise, outside of that, she's an outstanding and wonderful, independent, strong woman, as well as an awesome finance broker. Is that about sums it up, Janine?
Oh, I'll take that. Thank you
Well,
for
it's
the
all
compliment,
true.
Dino.
People know I don't lie, right? So,
Yeah.
so Janine, I wanted to pick your brains and get your feedback on a couple of areas given the new environment that we're living in. But as a finance broker, normally having that face-to-face interaction with clients, what's, I suppose, one of the biggest impacts of our ever-changing environment that you're seeing now that you've had to adapt to?
All right. So I suppose ultimately the technology is changing rapidly and policy changing rapidly. So what I mean by that is that we're now able to do ID non-face-to-face, and that used to be fine for particular lenders, but now all the lenders are adopting this, which is fantastic. And that actually gives us the flexibility to be able to deal with clients that we wouldn't have before. So that's a positive. And I actually think it's going to boost them, like push the industry along, and that we needed to have something in place that was much more accessible to people in terms of ID. I have noticed that some of the clients are able to be ID'd through the government, which is a great thing. I don't know if all the lenders are going to adopt that, but we'll see how that goes moving forward. But that obviously makes that part of the whole application process a lot easier, because you're not having to and fro with ID docs and also meeting face to face, etc. So that's something that we've had to adjust to very rapidly. And then I'm trying to think in terms of market specific things that are happening in WA. You know, I always love to talk about what's happening in WA because that's where I mainly operate. The valuations are actually being affected already, and unfortunately I don't want people to put their heads in the sand. We have to kind of be proactive with this and understand the value of our assets, and our home is an asset. I don't care what people say. I always fight for this one. A lot of people say that your home isn't your asset, but it actually does set you up for good wealth in the future, especially if you're unencumbered, which means you have no debt on it. So look, for a case example, one of my clients' house was valued at 490 just last year. It's now worth 400, and that might be a number of factors. What we're now going to see is unprecedented levels of people struggling, which means that houses are going to go to market for cheaper prices, which may potentially affect the street. So what that means is, say if Joe Bloggs across the road sells because he needs to get a quick fire sale and he puts it on for 350 and everybody else is worth around 500 in the area, it can potentially trickle down to around 400. So on paper, your house is worth X amount. Doesn't mean that the open market wouldn't buy for that price and would buy for that low. Sorry, it may sell for higher, but you have to be aware that the banks are taking the valuations from the valuer, and that will affect your impact in terms of whether you can refinance and consolidate debt. So there is some real impacts on the direct markets out there already.
Yeah, absolutely. Some really valid points around the valuation and how it can impact certain areas of the market,
Yeah.
and particularly around technology, which I think we'll see some good changes coming through for the industry. And a lot of industries is at that, so we can actually use technology probably to a different level that we've never ever seen before because we're forced to. So really good points on that one. You're always, every time we catch up, right, whether we have a camera rolling or not, you're always upbeat and positive, no matter what's hitting the fan. And we've all gone through that. And you and I have had some really deep and meaningful conversations around shit isn't going as well as it could do.
Yes.
So on that point, can you share, for people watching, can you give them a little bit of a tip around how they can stay positive and motivated and create the right mindset, particularly now for people that may be staying home 7 days a week and only going out 10, 15 minutes a day, because that brings its own challenges?
I'm actually really excited about the opportunity, because what I see right now is, number one, it is going to pass. It cannot stay like this forever, right? So you've got to keep your eye focused on it may be mid to longer term, but you think it's going to end at some point, and what do I want to be doing at the end of this? So what I mean by that is, for myself, I'm going, great, education. What is it that I want to get on top of that can make me that much better when I come back to the open market, when everything's fantastic and running as it should be again? And who knows if that's 6 months or even 3 months down the track, but it's better that we do some in-house learning right now so that we can get better in what we do, and then come to the market more skilled. So I see this as an upskilling time. And I also think that being home, you get time with your family that you've not had before. As a full-time working mother, I'm like enjoying the fact, even though the workload's now doubled, so I'm homeschooling with the girls, I'm getting time with my girls that I wouldn't have before, and I'm learning stuff about them that I didn't know as well, in terms of them probably what they don't know at school, but also what they do know. So it's been really lovely for me, because I'm on my 3rd week now. Goodness, I'm going into my 4th week next week, because I was actually started earlier on the on the lockdown, unfortunately. So I've adapted quite quick. So you've got to look at the positives. You get family time, some time to reflect on what you want, and to look into the future and think, okay, then I can reinvent myself. A lot of people have got the opportunity to reinvent themselves now. And I'm actually going to go through the process of reinvention as well, because I thought, I'm getting the forced time to sit down and I can map out what's important to me, where I see my career going, and how things are going to look in the future. And some people might be super creative and come up with a whole new business concept out of this troubled times, because this is an opportune time for seeing flaws in markets. So you can see, like, there might be a market opportunity for something that didn't exist before, but now all of a sudden it's just like the businesses are adapting. So that now restaurants are doing home deliveries, where they were all focused on building ambience within a restaurant, but now they've got to try and bring that ambience to home. But people who adapt quickly are the ones that are going to be successful. There's a lot of opportunity out there.
Exactly.
And to stay with this little fella, his name's Pharaoh. So I got myself a little baby just to pass the time. So he's taken up a bit of time. So look, I don't know. I just think there is a lot of positive in this, Dino. And look, I haven't discussed this with yourself, but personally, I've gone through a lot worse. So I don't actually think this is such a bad time. And I know that you and I, we've had our own personal things, and I think if you can focus on the fact that you're getting that time to be at home, you can work from home now. A lot of people are being super productive too. There's a lot of positive things to be had from this situation.
Yeah, exactly. And you probably summed up really nicely, as well as shared. I was going to ask you, and I was thinking how to ask Janine what she likes doing at home, but I think you summed it up well in regards to you spend more time with the family, the children, partner. You've obviously got a new friend there that you've shown us, so that's awesome. But also, if I just add, I probably don't add too many tips during these episodes, because I like to hear from everybody else. But I think as well, for people that are living in a house and you're 4 or 5 families, 6 family members, is make sure you craft some time out for yourself, because
Yes.
you need that me time. You need to be able to refresh and think about things that you want to be working on, or be starting, or working, whatever it may be. So work on yourself as well.
Yeah.
Janine,
Routine is everything. Routine.
absolutely. Well, Janine, hopefully next time we'll be chatting, we'll be face to face, which who knows how long that may be.
Yeah.
For people watching overseas, actually Australia's closing off all the borders between each state. And I'm actually in Queensland, which means unless I'm an essential worker or from compassionate grounds, I can't get back to WA any longer until they reopen it. So I'm
Pretty
speaking
sad.
with my daughters every single day at 12 o'clock, and we're going through their schoolwork and how I can help and what's happening. So
Yeah.
as I said, it's all about adaptability and what we're doing. But Janine, on that note, thank you so much for joining me. As always with
My
everybody,
pleasure.
stay strong, stay safe, do the right thing, wash your hands, social distancing, all of that. But Janine, thank you.
Thanks so much, Dino. Great to see you.
Likewise. Bye.